Hi, I'm Claire Lilley, and I'd like to talk to you about my latest book, The Psychology of Horsemanship. Now, I've been a riding coach for many years and a horse owner for some of those years. And what's interesting to me is how the horse views the world and how it is maybe different to how we see it. Mammals are pretty much wired the same in their primal instincts of fight, flight, and freeze. Now the horse is really hot wired to run away. And as people and riders, that can be really scary. So in a way, to ride horses, we're overcoming our own primal instincts of fear to even get on the horse in the first place. And maybe if we get that wrong, we misunderstand a horse and, we flip his flight instinct too, we end up in a predicament, so we're both afraid. So this book is more about understanding where we come from as well as the horse and how they work together in a partnership. So for me, horsemanship is very much about being able to keep each other safe, rider and horse, or horse handler and horse. It takes a huge amount of trust. As people, we're getting on top of an animal that may run away. And for the horse, as he's a flight animal and he uses his speed to run away from predators. So in a way, to get on his horse's back is like being a predator. So for us both to overcome those fears, those primal responses, takes a massive amount of trust. So in this book, I go into a little bit about how the brain works, human and horse. It's full of pictures and diagrams. So I'm trying to make the subject accessible for everybody. So it's technical enough, that mental health professionals or riding coaches would find it interesting, and maybe it may fuel their own research and their own analysis of themselves and their students. As a horse rider and owner, it's about trying to understand the little signals a horse gives us, not necessarily about responding to our aids when we ride, the physical aspect of riding horses, but also the mental connection and how maybe when we're riding, we might be riding the horse, but our mind might be on something completely different, and how distracting that can be for the horse, because he wonders, we might be there physically, but mentally, where are we? We're not there for him. So this book is about trying to find that mental connection with the horse as well as the physical. Having taught people for many years, it led me to take a different path in my career. I've trained as a riding teacher many years ago and found that through the years of working that often the issues that came around with training horses was more about what was going on for the rider and to try and work that out and work it through. So a lot of lessons became more about talking and maybe what was going on again outside the lesson for the person in front of me and helping them to read their horse. So I ended up retraining as a psychotherapist several years ago, and it's really changed the way I teach. It's being aware of what is going on for the person and being really aware of body language, intention. Now, horses are really, really good at picking up on the tiniest physical signals from us, and also changes in our body system that reflect how we truly feel. We may not like to admit that we're scared, but the horse will surely know. So in my experience, you can't fool a horse. So you may be putting a brave face on and going, right, I'm getting around that cross-country course. But if your horse doesn't believe you, he won't do it. You might get halfway round and then he'll just go, sorry, no, don't trust you. So, thinking back to maybe the war, World War One, all those horses and soldiers, and you see pictures of horses trained to lie still when there's gunfire going around them, and a soldier leaning on with his gun. And that amount of trust for the horse to lie down in the middle of a battle, and that takes some doing, you know, and often their lives depended on each other. So I wonder if that's something we need to maybe bring into our lives with horses. You know, our lives could depend on each other. Do we trust a horse to keep us safe? Often that can be explained as, okay, we come to some scary situation, horse will run away, or he'll at least spook, which is what horses do. But they will look after us by taking us with them. They don't, you know, intentionally ditch us on the floor and then run off. So it's about the skill of the rider being able to be with that horse physically and mentally, and often preempt what could scare the horse. So again, seeing the world from the horse's eyes, very important.